Hey everybody, Brian Good here with the latest edition of Snow Talk. I was going to say Storm Talk. Mine's a little out of it here today. Here's the snowboard, in case you guys are wondering. I've been posting this a lot, but decided to introduce it now. Nothing major, but it gives you an idea. What I'm going to do is, it's the same thing as like the early alert outlook, the 14-day trend, but I'm only going to show you a potential for anything that is worth tracking down the road here. And the only thing I see that could be a rain or snow or a mixture of both appears to be toward the end of the month, and it doesn't look to be a big deal at this time. We'll talk more about that here in a second. Let's talk about now. At the moment, we have this weak trough that is moving through the area now. We've had just a few sprinkles from it. We'll break back out in sunshine in a matter of no time here through the morning period. So that's the reason why we're going to go back still into the mid-60s later on for today, the way it's looking. Meanwhile, to the west coast we go, and that is where we are tracking the energy now that's going to set the stage for this low to move across the Rockies and eventually become a big player for the Midwest. More than, I would say, a foot of snow is expected across portions of Minnesota, especially into Wisconsin, later this week, the way it's looking out toward the weekend. More than half a foot for sure, but some areas over a foot, with near blizzard conditions, in fact. For our area, this front's going to move in as we wait into Friday night. Ahead of it, still dealing with the issue with the burn bans and the fire risk with those strong winds. And then we'll have a period of showers and thunderstorms. Looks to be still nocturnal when this moves through, so not a huge issue when it passes through the area. And then the colder weather on the backside. Now when it comes to the winds, this is the wind fields aloft. And notice we still have a very narrow ribbon of strong winds as this front moves in. So if we had just enough instability to tap into that, we could produce maybe some damaging winds. But instability Friday afternoon, very little in the way of capes. You see it there across Illinois and just south of St. Louis, and then by the time it arrives here, nothing. So if the models are wrong and we do actually achieve a bit more cape than what is shown here, then yeah, then we may have to talk about a few gusty thunderstorms during the overnight. That's something we're not going to know until we get right up to that point. So not a big deal, but it is something we'll monitor in the coming days. It's only Tuesday. Then after it, the headline then will be the cold air. Very cold air, aloft especially. Now ground level, colder than what we've had been, but it's not going to be drastically because it's changed, because it takes a while to get cold air lower levels like this to really respond to setup. But there could be enough areas, amount of moisture anyway, around the area for this cold air that we could see some sleet or even some flurries. Still looks to be north and east of Louisville. The latest Euro coming in, this is the 700 millibar moisture level. Anything over 50-60% is what we look at for the potential for maybe something frozen if it's cold enough. And that is showing up still, same around Oldham County into Lexington and all of the Ohio area. That's where you got the best chance. And look how dry it is, though, once you go south and west of that. So it's a very sharp cutoff to this chance. And not a big deal, but in case any of you see some flurries, especially if you go to Lexington for UK game, no need to panic thinking the snowstorm's on the way, anything like that. It's going to be just a minor and a gentle reminder that winter is just around the corner. As we head into next week, heading toward Thanksgiving, we will see another low pressure move out. Another surge of warm air, another 10-degree jump in temperatures from Monday to Tuesday next week. So another round of wind with that, by the way. Back in the 60s we go. Rain for the travel day into parts of Thanksgiving. At this point, most of the moisture this time around looks to be out of here before it's cold enough to get some type of frozen precip out of it. We'll monitor that, but at this point I don't see any signs of that. I think it's going to move out quick enough to where we will not see a repeat of what we're dealing with for this upcoming weekend. Looking at the long-range Euro, this really tells the story here. This is the temperature trends. The purple is the highs and the black being the lows, and you see the drop that happens Friday night with the rain chance here. Even though it's blue, it's rain, not snow. And then we drop down for the weekend, and then there's that bump up with that low pressure around the travel day into Thanksgiving, and then we drop. But see, the drop is not as dramatic, and that's the reason why we're not talking about a repeat when it comes to frozen stuff there for Thanksgiving. Talking about the signals have changed. I tweeted this out earlier today for those of you that are big weather nerds. This involves the Rossby waves, where we track waves around the globe for a repeating pattern. The red is what has happened so far, and these lines are the different ideas, potential. It's forecast that was done in October. And what I've noticed, the signal is not as strong for a dip toward the end of the month. Still seeing a sign, but not as dramatic. We'll monitor the trends on that. In December, one thing I've noticed is a lot of ups and downs for one. In fact, still getting a decent sign of a good drop here toward the 20th, and perhaps during the 12th and the 15th of December, another decent front moves into the area. But the one toward Christmas week into New Year's looks to be delayed a bit. Looks like it's going to push perhaps into the first couple of days of 2017. We'll see how it plays out. It's still detecting it'll be a wintry type of system that will likely cross our region the last week of December. But when you look at January's update, it has now changed, and it now is indicating the potential for something frozen the first couple of days of January. So there's a chance the signal for the late December may get pushed into the first couple of days of the new year. And then another signal now showing up for maybe something wintry for the middle portion of January. We'll see how that plays out. It's going to be an active season the way it looks like. A lot of ups and downs we've dealt with so far. I think we'll see more of that, but this time around with moisture added.